I had this dream, that wasn't really a nightmare, and it only occurred twice in my life, but it was very vivid, and left me with a disturbed, unsettled feeling. The first instance of the dream occurred when I was a young teenager. In the dream, I am in school walking with other classmates to our next class. The first bell had already rung, and the second bell would ring soon after. Realizing I was late, I began to hurry, while noticing the other students were no longer around me. I must have zoned out, lost time, and seeing the empty hallway, I decide to run to my next class, to try to make up some time. I turn the corner, and something feels wrong. The hallway is empty and quiet. I continue to jog down, until I reach my classroom door. I carefully push it open, trying not to make a big scene of being late, but when I look inside, there's no one there. Thinking I made a mistake, I walk to the next classroom over, and look inside, but it is also empty. At this point, I'm confused and worried. Was I on the wrong floor? Was there some kind of emergency that forced everyone to leave? I walk down the hall, frantically searching each room, but there isn't anyone in sight, and what's even more confusing is the lack of any signs that anyone was ever there to begin with. Desks are empty, no books or papers. Chalkboards are clean, no writing or chalk stains, and the walls are clean, with nothing taped or tacked onto them. The lockers are empty, no coats hanging inside. It is as if the school had been vacant for a long time, and it was quiet, painfully quiet. After walking through the halls and classrooms, I eventually decide to leave. With no one to stop me, it should be easy to just walk out and go home. But something feels off, as if in my gut I know it isn't a good idea to leave, not right now. I make my way to one of the stairwells, and to a window, and I look outside to find it is dark, night has fallen, and the streets were desolate. And just like with the school, the streets weren't just missing people, but also any signs of people existing there. No cars were parked, no lights inside the buildings, just the feeling of complete solitude, quiet and empty. At some point the school bell rings again, and I wake up to my alarm clock, going off by my bed. The second, and last time I would have this dream, I would be in my early 30s. I would be in my home, except it wasn't really my home, but a strange mashup of my childhood home, and some building that feels familiar, but I am sure I have never been in before. In this dream, this strange building is supposed to be my home. I'm sitting at a table, and I must have zoned out again, because I realize that it is quiet, and I am alone in the living room. I search the house, but there isn't anyone else there, not my parents, nor my siblings, and not even my girlfriend is around. This is one of those dreams, where you aren't quite sure what year it is, how old you are, or even exactly who you are. It is a dream of pure confusion. I know who I am, but in the current setting, I feel like I must be someone else, or at least my consciousness is occupying someone else's body, looking through their eyes. And just like with the school, the house is empty, and shows no signs of habitation. It feels like it hasn't been lived in for many years. I walk over to a TV, and try to turn it on, but there doesn't seem to be any electricity. I walk to the front door, expecting it to open out to the urban street I grew up on, but it reveals a foreign suburban street, a place I have never seen before. There are only a handful of houses, separated by stereotypical suburban yards, not like the interconnected apartment buildings and multi-family homes I grew up seeing. And just like before, it is eerily quiet, no dogs barking, or kids playing. No cars driving by, not even the sound of wind passing through trees. It's as if I woke up in a ghost town, long since abandoned. I don't feel afraid, just worried and confused. There doesn't seem to be a threat, there doesn't seem to be anything at all. There's an undeniable feeling that I am the only living thing there. It doesn't seem real, it feels like a copy of the real world, or a failed attempt at a copy. Somehow I ended up there, with no way of knowing how I arrived in that place and no way of knowing how to leave. And just like with the school, I have this feeling that I shouldn't go outside, it just wouldn't be safe, so I return to the living room, and sit down in front of the blank TV screen, and try to make sense of whatever is happening. This time I wake up in my bed, not because of an alarm clock, but because of a pair of sanitation workers who have chosen to do their job much louder than is necessary. But I am grateful to be awake, and out of that weird dream world, that makes me question both reality, as well as my own sanity. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, why not subscribe and share it?